Every few months we see companies and outlets release data about women in games and talk about how much harassment is filling the industry, and half their data is usually called out for seemingly being made up or extremely biased. And now a brand new study has released about the same topic that claims 75% of young women report abuse in online games. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. Now, of course, I'm starting off with a The Gamer article. I hate their articles. They really only post topics like this, but it says a study into abuse in online games has been found that most female gamers experience harassment while playing, with the majority of victims aged between 18 and 24. 75% of younger respondents said they had been abused in online games, with around 50% of women of all age groups reporting harassment. Now, right off the bat, you can tell that this is very misleading. Their headline is 75% of young women report abuse in online games, and they are referring back to a study that only talked to 4,000 women, but this, of course, is a way to get you to click their article. It says the study also delves into the effects that this abuse has on women, with 25% saying that it left them feeling depressed. 27% also worry that the abuse will bleed into real life. So they are just starting with some absolutely massive claims here. I mean, they say 25% felt depressed afterwards, and 27 also worry that the abuse will bleed into real life. And if that 25% is a real number, clearly these individuals need help, as they've got some kind of underlying mental health issue. I am a gamer. I have always been a gamer. And sure, there have been times where people have gone into voice chats, right, and said some mean things, but I just move on, and I don't let it eat me away. I don't let it fester inside of me, and that is, it sounds like what these people are doing. They are playing as anonymous people in games, okay? These players can't track you down and go after you in real life. They're claiming that people think that this abuse is going to bleed into real life. How? That is something that someone with a clear mental health issue would say, and I hope these people get help, because they're going into these studies providing this kind of data, and it's absolutely absurd. I think most people would read that and scratch their head a little bit and go, how does that even work? How could someone online find you when you are an anonymous player? You're only going to be in a lobby with them for what, 20 to 30 minutes maximum? Unless you add them and you give them your personal information, there's no way that that's going to happen. It says that 1 in 10 even reported feeling suicidal due to the abuse in the gaming scene, showing that bigotry and toxicity in the community are having a significant effect on the mental health of some players. Well, that is, again, the problem is that these are not average or normal people. I would say these are individuals who might be a little bit more susceptible. They may take things a little bit too personally. I think that most people, when they go into games, would not feel suicidal because someone online said something that might be a little bit mean to them. And of course, as you can see, this is all about females in gaming. It says the research conducted by Sky involved 4,000 women who either stream or play online games. That right there highlights a massive problem, because they didn't ask any males if they experience any abuse or harassment online. What if the numbers with men are almost exactly the same? This is incomplete data. They have nothing to compare it to. And of course, it makes them look biased, and that's because they are. Okay, they teamed up with the UK's Sky Broadband, who on their website, front and center, has this: Sky Broadband stands with women in gaming, hashtag no room for abuse. It is plastered all over their website, and as it says, they partnered with Guild Esports. Now, you would think that they're a big network with lots of players, but Guild Esports is actually pretty small. They currently only have 2 full teams, and guess what? They are all women teams. And I think having women teams in esports is great, but clearly, okay, if they start boasting about, oh, poor women, they'll probably hope it'll get them pity points, and people will look at their players and offer them opportunities. 90% of the time when we see research done like this, it is for reasons like this, right? Ultimately, it leads back to making money, promoting your product, in this case, promoting your players. But this is a very clearly biased study. And again, they don't have any men in this. They don't have any numbers to compare it to. It's not like they're saying only 1% of the 4,000 men we interviewed and talked to said they faced harassment and abuse. They only have numbers regarding women, and it's very clearly because the esports company they teamed up with have all women teams. This whole situation actually reminds me of a topic I had to recently cover in a video with Dove. Dove had decided to release a advertisement a few weeks ago saying they're taking a stand against overly sexualized women in video games with Epic's Unreal Engine education team and at Women in Games. And they decided in their advertisement to say 74% of girls feel underrepresented in video games. And of course, I wanted to go and find where they're getting these numbers from, and there was a study released by Dove, endorsed by Women in Games, that said 60% of girls and 62% of women feel misrepresented in video games. So first of all, they decided to lie in their advertisement about these numbers, and what's the point of putting the numbers in your advertisement or even doing a study if you're gonna lie about them anyway? But of course they did it in partnership with Women in Games, and they are a completely biased organization, so it's not like you're going to get unbiased data from them. It's absolutely absurd that companies continue to do this and they think that no one is going to catch on. And I've actually had to do a lot of research in the past few weeks on topics like this to cover even just these videos, because it's very hard to find where these studies come from, who did these studies, the numbers involved. But companies have continued to do this, and I will continue to call them out. But yes, this is another bullshit study done that has absolutely no percentages for like men in gaming and abuse they face. They just wanted to be able to slap a very punchy title on an article like this saying 75% of young women reported abuse in online games, with very little to back it up. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.